And we're live. Hi everyone, we're back with Beethoven E major opus 109 Sonata number 30, and this is part 2 of the third movement. So we're looking at the third movement starting from variation number 3, I believe. From variation number 3, absolutely. We did 1 and 2 in the other video. If you haven't seen that, check it out. I will try to remember to put a link in the description as well. And so some of you are already asking a little bit how to practice this, and I believe my answer was that's a very good way to practice this. Hi Graham, and hi everyone who's watching. So that's very good. Just to review the fingerings: 3, 1, 2, 3, 5, 2, 3, 1, 3 or 4, 5, I think. Hold on. 4 on the C sharp. Now what we want here also in the right hand, of course, is E. Always keep those short little notes from the keys up. Whenever you have that, in so many pieces you have that, right? From the keys up instead of down onto the keys. Same thing. Same thing, yep. That in the left hand. So here, same thing. And we kind of want a direction going to the sforzandos. We want some kind of crescendo, or at least a focus, going all the way from here to here. Same thing here. So you're restarting every 4 bars. He does write forte again, but you somehow maybe do the first note loud and then come back down to crescendo that. It sounds something like this. And from here on he writes the crescendos. So if you don't want to like come back down to 1, 2, 3, bum, bum, and then it just sounds very good that way. He didn't write it, but if not, then just start it from here, or at least keep a direction. I feel like I have to talk about fingerings here, yeah? Because that's a pretty tricky passage here. Thank you for talking about one of my favorite pieces. Thank you, Bill. This is also one of my favorite pieces. So it's nice that we've spent 3 weeks. I do have a busy day. I'll have to leave at least 12:40, which means maybe part 3 to this. We'll see, because there's a lot of stuff to look at in the final variation, of course. Okay. That's a tricky one. That is a tricky one, I will admit. Okay. 3, 5, 1, 3, 4, 1, 3, 1, 3. That's how I do it. And then the next bar, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Twice use the 4. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 3, 1, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. And then here you could do 5, 3, 2, 1, or 5, 4, 3, 1, 5, 4, 3, 1, or 5, 3, 4, 1. Yeah. Now there's a lot of contours in this. Whenever you have lots of contours, we're at risk to make mistakes if you don't use the technique according to the contours. So notice there was a little rotation in there. Here's your wheel going ya dee da da dum, ya dee da da, ya dee da da dum. Exaggerating it a little there. And now this one in rotation, da dee da dee da. And this one goes all the way. All right, so that's the kind of tricky thing you have. It would be just like, let's just look at this. You have to follow those little contours. It's not so different to really get that. Right hand's easier there. I do 3, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 3, 1, 3, kind of like the left hand did. 3, 1, 3, 3, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 4, 3, 2, 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, then 2 or 3 on the D sharp. Some nice rotation there at the end. Then we have a D natural here. So here I put 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 3, 1, 3. I suppose you could put 4 on the D sharp. Maybe that's even better. Let me write that down. Coming up with new ideas here. 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 4. I see we had 4 on the D on the F sharp. Well, doesn't matter. Either 4 or 3 on the D sharp. So 4, 1, 3. You got that? 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 4, 1, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 2, 1. Back on the 1 here, and you go over with the 2 on the G sharp. 2, 3, 1, 2. Keeping the 1 on the E. 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 1. 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. Okay. So I think that should help there. Wants me to go over the fingering of the next part, just let me know. Bill says, how does speed of this section come with practice? So how do you get it up to speed? A very good question. How are you able to get this from to something? So my favorite way of getting the speed up is to put things in little sections. We'll call them stops, okay? I'll call them stops. It just means that you stop, but you play a little faster. So that's exactly what we did here. We're stopping on every beat, right? On every 1 and 2. All right, if you can do that, it's not so hard, right? And what I notice is that students always don't want to wait. They want to go. Give time to relax and be able to execute the next 4 notes clean and properly. So however much time you need. Maybe a little slower, That also works. Okay, this is crucial. This is when you want to get things really up to speed. I don't know of any way better than this. So once you've done that, once you've done exactly what we've done here, now start making it a little longer. Okay, so we'd stop on the first and second beat in a 2/4. Now we'll just stop on the first beat. Really take the time to get that, right? We'll take something a bit more, let's see, how about this? You get the idea there. Now, once you've done that, we stopped on the first beat. Just to mix it up, notice we've never played through from the second beat to the second beat of the next bar. So now just stop on the 2s. Stop on the second beat. So you do this. Restrain myself from just doing the whole thing. It's kind of satisfying to do that, oddly. Once you have that, okay, that was 3 different ways. So we did stopping on both the first and second. On only the first. So yeah. And on only the second beats. There. So that's pretty good. Once you've done that, well, then you can go 2 bars by 2 bars again on the first beat, right? So we're just playing it basically fast with waiting in the middle of it. Or you can go tricky. That's true. We didn't talk about that. Do that with 4 or 5 on the G natural. That's what I usually did. 3 5 4 3 1 3 2 1 5 3 2 3 2. Works better than 4. I think I would have to practice this for a day to really be able to execute it without mistakes here. But I don't say that as a joke that it takes me a day to learn it, because I spent years working on it. So it's just to bring it back. It can take that. Does metronome help to get the speed up? Absolutely. It's such a wonderful gift we have, this metronome. Like, it makes things so much easier. So we can get into that. We might not get past this variation. That's okay. You can take the metronome and, let's see, you just put it at a certain speed. I'm not going to go through this whole thing, but just put the metronome at a speed that's slow enough that you can play in rhythm without mistakes. And as a general rule, it should get better and better. So you increase the speed as it gets easy. It should feel easier and easier. If you increase the speed too quickly or over and above your ability, then it's kind of getting harder and harder. That's not what we want. We want it that it gets easier and easier because you use the metronome. So it's just being, be thrifty with your speed changements on the metronome. Don't go up too fast if you can't play it that fast yet. Right? Okay. Here's another art. We haven't really gotten through just the basics of this, but I think it's pretty clear. It's always this crescendo to a sforzando, right? Same thing again. Same thing again. This is the first time where we don't really have that. Even if you didn't write crescendo in the beginning, here it's just piano, right? You recognize the main theme, right? We have that. 1 bar of crescendo. crescendo from piano to forte. Back to piano. Again, one bar of crescendo. There's the end of our little variation. Okay. All right. Here is one of my favorite ways of practicing this variation. Is as a practice, let's accentuate different notes, especially when the other hand has eighth notes all the time, which is after the first 8 bars. So we do something like this. As a practice, let's just call it an obsession, but I really love doing that. So we're doing the off beats, yeah? You can come back to the beats. You're just putting accents, and then very good with Bach as well. I just love that. If you can get through doing accents on the second beats, I think it just shows the importance of certain notes that you kind of overlook and skip over in a way. So, any place you use pedal in this variation. Okay, so how do we put pedal here? I put a little bit here, but yeah, very little. It's embarrassing. Yeah, I think the 5 on the G natural. Yeah. I say that in part in jest. It's not really embarrassing. I love doing this with you guys. That's maybe the second place that I would put pedal is right there in that crescendo. So on this one, pedal, just a tiny little bit, just for a second. You can't really put much pedal in this piece, as you can see, so it's nice to just try to put it a little tiny bit. No pedal. Only place I use pedal is last beat of bar 20. There we go. That's exactly the spot we just did. Yeah, absolutely. Last beat of bar 20. I suppose you could do the same thing at the end of bar 4. You know, just go with what feels natural, but for sure we're not going to put very much pedal in a kind of thing like that. You know, there's too much going on there. It sounds very good without pedal. Okay, I think that covers this variation. I think that covers it. You know what? Pretty much decided already on today. We're just going to do variation 3 and 4, okay? We'll come back to this on Monday. We'll push that Chopin waltz ahead a little bit still, and that's okay. We'll come back to finish this on Monday, the fugue and the final variation. So, okay. I think that covers it for this variation. If you have any more questions of fingerings and stuff, but we've pretty much done the works. The technique. That's the easy one, right? And then that's a little harder. But lots of of technique things there. We've looked at fingering, we've looked at pedal, different ways to practice, how to get the speed. Okay, and we finish with syncopation, like we had at the end of bar 20 there as well, right? A little syncopation there. All right, the 9/8 Piacevole variation. I think this is my favorite one of all. So, it's so beautiful. So he writes here Piacevole, which means peaceful. If you want to really get that peaceful feeling, don't think of it in 3. You know, instead of thinking 1, 2, 3, really count 9, 1 and 2 and 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 1, 2, 3. Bill says, can you go a little slowly for amateurs? Would you just like... Let me know what you want me to show slowly, Bill. Is it just to play it through slowly, showing the technique, maybe, you know? I'll keep that in mind, not go too fast here all the time. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 1. If you count that way, 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1. And then look again how significant that second beat can be, even in a 9/8. So it can be the 2, the 5, and the 8, right? So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. If you want to get it to feel better playing it slowly, think of that, you know? And again, you might just play the whole variation. We're kind of coming back to this offbeat thing, you know? So you might come back to the variation, play through it with all of the second beats in each group of 3. So the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then you'll decide after where that's really appropriate, you know? I like it here in the beginning because we go to a higher note. First bar, it works 3 times perfectly. All right, lots of polyphony here. So A, C, B, A, G. If you can bring it out so that we hear really. Left hand after G, do, si, la, sol, fa. We want to hear those different voices. So that means that we won't play this too loud. Same thing in the beginning here. Remember we had we'd come up to there. Here you're gonna go reach that G sharp. Even if you took the B in the left hand, see B, G. See how you're almost using the movements to sing this. Show the left hand. So that's another way of doing it, you know. You could just show all the time. Ta-da-dee-da-da-da-da. Maybe not the most interesting way of playing it, but just for fun, you know, it does have something interesting to it. Ta-da-dee-da-da-da. Ta-da-dee-da-da-da. you see, it's sometimes nice, but it's nice to also bring out that this one here. Now the left hand here, crescendo all the way to here. All right, there again, you always recognize that. That was a question from Monday. How do these variations work? How are they similar? It's especially similar in the harmony. It's not the melody repeating itself. Okay, so... if you like that, you can do that, right? Crescendo. Important in the left hand, that interval, and then relax a little, come down, and if you want, you can swell here. Just put a little swell there if you like that. C, that syncopated beginning and so typically Beethoven. Those thirds on the top with the left hand 2 octaves apart. Listen to the left hand. Maybe swell there. Slower tempo here. We've become weightless. So we should have that feeling here where it's really something really peaceful and reassuring and maybe even, you know, just like bienveillant. There's like a goodness to a lot of Beethoven's music, and it just has to do something with him. But you almost feel like it's like a moment of rest where you feel recharged after this variation, and that's really incredible. So when we get here, we have it's kind of like, you know, we've become weightless here, right? There's a great place to squeeze that belly button into the spine and maybe use the speed of attack here on each note. So every note is clear, but very weightless sounding. Practice playing this as softly as you can. We have a little rotation happening, maybe between the 5 and the 3rd finger in both hands. And when you become weightless, it's okay to get a little slower as well. It's like you take a trip to the moon, and time isn't quite the same. Gravity has changed, but time is also not the same on the moon. Then da dee da dee da. A little Philip Glass there almost. So see how that's grouped? We're due here. This, and this is the tail. And then we start a new group here. This one leading into this one. Very soft though. And another tail. And then again the new third group now. This one pick up into here. Right? So group it that way. Then when you play it through, it sounds something like this. So yeah, as you can see, I'm a fan of taking a little time there. Maybe that's a bit too much. Just a little bit. Now there's accentsy, another accent, and then three sforzandos. Not only on, but use the other part of the chord as well for the sforzandos. Sforzando again. Il più forte. So, you know, as loud as possible, but that doesn't mean you force it. Don't ever get tight. Just let the sound accumulate and then contribute to that accumulation. Right? Let's try this again. Accent. Another one. Things we can do here, yeah? There's really lots to talk about. We have lots of different lines. And, you know, I think just about everyone takes time here. But you do it twice in the repeat. So you can experiment a little bit, see if not taking time also works. I think you would have to take time here where it says il più forte. 1, 2, 3. I really like to bring that in the left hand, the F sharp. Color it a little on the lower side of that. So doubled third. That sounds really nice. So we have top. And then the alto, and then the tenor here. But then we need a little bit. I think I come back to alto here. That's the way it sounds the best to my ears. And then here, very important to go to the second beat in the group of 3, 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and, but we'll come to the top there. So 1 and 2, I put a little line going through the B, 1 and 2 and 3 and same thing, a little line going through the C sharp, 1 and 2 and 3 and, so you remember to shape it that way. Right? Hi, Emma Papi. Thank you so much for looking for this live masterclass. Very helpful. Thank you for joining. Glad it's helpful. We'll come back to that variation, Bill. Okay, we do have to wrap this up, though. So let's stay focused here. 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and it's like a little crescendo just to the second beat in the group of 3. So we go as 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2. out the top. We want to get all the way up there in the right hand. Just feel a little brightness and maybe a slight crescendo. But especially take away from the left hand. I would even erase that crescendo. So we have... See, it feels like we've gotten softer, but somehow the top voice has re-emerged, right? And then connect it. Hi, Juan Manuel Fagnano from Argentina. So you really feel like this is connected. And we start again. So see that B, A. We want to feel that this whole thing has been connected. More here and less here. Make sure you have this one more, this one less. Another swell. Then back to this thing again. Didn't get the sound on there. There we go. Okay, I think I managed to bring out all those little things there that we talked about. So, yeah, it's a lot of stuff to look at. Larry Boy. Hi, Larry Boy. Man, I wish I could play this. I'm still working on Beethoven 49, number 2, so I'm far from playing it. Is that one of the sonatinas? Isn't it F major? Oh, there's I forget how it goes. I'm not going to do that. Okay, so variation number 3, slowly. Let's do that. Okay, slowly. Still making mistakes. Mistakes still in there, but if you can get it slowly, relatively clean, then memorize it slowly so that you can also, it's going to be easier to hit everything when you memorize it, you know. I usually know this by heart, and I'm looking at this a little, so yeah, you know. Okay, I believe that wraps it for today. So we will look at on Monday. Wonderful little fugetto or something. It's like a small one. And this part is kind of hard. Really amazing dissonances on those chords. Listen to that. Sounds almost like polytonality. This one also. So beautiful. And then, of course, we will spend ample time on that last movement. You must include Beethoven Moonlight third movement. Please include sometimes. Thank you for all you do. Yeah, we will. We will absolutely include that, Bill. I think you're right. That is a must. I haven't played that one, so I'm more reluctant to put things I haven't played because then I have to work on them while I'm working on other stuff as well. But you know, we'll do it anyway. We'll do it anyway. We'll talk about it. I might not play through it, and we can even look at parts. I think sometimes if there's places where I have difficulty, then probably you guys are as well. And then we can look at that and take it apart and see how exactly do we practice those things. So, okay, extra time on the third movement for, yes, we'll have a part 3 on Monday. So stay tuned, check the schedule. There's a tip jar on the Patreon page. So check that out, and we'll be back on Monday. So take care, everyone. Peace, over and out. Don't forget to like and subscribe, of course.